Preview. What to watch for on Sunday from JuJu Watkins, Paige Bueckers, and Flau'jae. A full slate of Sunday NCAA will feature three of the game's brightest future stars and their highly ranked teams. Here's why to watch. No. 4 USC and JuJu Watkins. No. 6 UConn and Paige Bueckers. And no. 5 LSU and Flau'jae. While we're infatuated with Unrivaled, Sunday belongs to the sport's future, with a full slate of NCAA games featuring top teams and players, including the future of Unrivaled. Unrivaled investor JuJu Watkins and the No. 4 USC Trojans visit the Indiana Hoosiers, 12 p.m. ET, NBC, while unrivaled NIL signees Paige Bueckers and Flau'jae also are in action, with Bueckers and the No. 6 UConn Huskies hosting the Seton Hall Pirates, 1 p.m. ET, and Johnson and the No. 5 LSU Tigers meeting the Florida Gators, 1 p.m. ET, SECN. Here's a look at what JuJu, Paige, and Flau'jae are up against. USC's previous game was postponed due to Northwestern deciding not to travel to California due to continued threats posed by the LA wildfires. The game was scheduled to be played in the Gallon Center on Wednesday, January 15. The Trojans now hit the road for the program's first-ever trip to Bloomington and Assembly Hall, one of college basketball's more historic sites. It seems like the perfect stage for a Watkins masterclass. She dropped 35 points on Penn State last Sunday, her second highest scoring game of the season. It also was Watkins' most efficient game of the season, as she shot a season-high 86.7% from the field, missing just one two-pointer and one three-pointer. She also added 11 boards, 5 steals, 3 assists, and 3 blocks to her starry stat line. In short, Watkins, who already was authoring a sensational sophomore season, appears to be approaching a higher gear. On Wednesday, Bueckers returned to action for the first time since spraining her left knee against Villanova. After 2 games off, Bueckers scored 12 points and grabbed 5 rebounds in 23 minutes as the Huskies roll against Street Johns. Head coach Gino Auriemma offered his characteristic combination of praise and critique when assessing Bueckers' play, stating, "So I never doubt what Paige can do to impact the game, because I've seen it so many times. But I also know she's not a robot where you just put her in, push the button and anything happens automatically." Bueckers provided a positive assessment of her return, noting, "I'm just glad to be back out there. Obviously first game back from anything, you just want to get your feet wet, get the feel of playing basketball again, the physicality of it, the pace of it, but feeling good." On Sunday, she and the Huskies host another overmatched Big East foe in Seton Hall. As long as they take the court with the requisite focus, UConn should cruise to another conference win, providing the redshirt senior star the runway required to steadily ramp up her aggressiveness before the big games really begin in March. LSU is 1-3 remaining undefeated teams, with No. 1 UCLA and No. 9 Ohio State joining them in the exclusive club. And the Tigers should remain in that club after Sunday afternoon's game against Florida, although LSU has shown a slight tendency to play down to lesser competition, escaping with closer than they should have been wins over Washington and Stanford. However, if the Tigers do struggle to put the Gators away, especially if they're looking ahead to a monster matchup against South Carolina on Thursday, that could result in a big game from Johnson, who repeatedly has risen to the occasion when the pressure increases. On Monday, the junior guard dropped 25 points, highlighted by 11 in the fourth quarter, to help put away a pesky Vanderbilt side. Of course, if trouble emerges in Gainesville, senior forward Anissa Morrow also will be there to rescue the Tigers. The definition of an automatic double-double, Morrow recently became just the 8th player in NCAA Division I basketball history to reach 2,500 points and 1,500 rebounds for their career. Indiana hosts No. 4 USC after Watkins' 35-point performance. USC Trojans, 16-1, 6-0 Big Ten, at Indiana Hoosiers, 12-5, 4-2 Big Ten. Bloomington, Indiana, Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bottom line, no. 4 USC takes on Indiana after JuJu Watkins scored 35 points in USC's 95-73 victory over the Penn State Lady Lions. The Hoosiers are 7-3 in home games. Indiana averages 70.9 points, while outscoring opponents by 8.2 points per game. The Trojans are 6-0 against conference opponents. USC ranks 4th in the Big Ten with 26.5 defensive rebounds per game, led by Raya Marshall, averaging 6.1. Indiana makes 44.9% of its shots from the field this season, which is 10.7 percentage points higher than USC has allowed to its opponents, 34.2%. USC averages 22.0 more points per game, 84.7, than Indiana allows, 62.7. The Hoosiers and Trojans match up Sunday for the first time in Big Ten play this season.